Hi, my name is Kari Woodall. I'm a Master Instructor for a company called TRX Training. I'm going to take you through a class that I created for my parents, and it's called SMOLDER. So this class is for anyone between the ages of 60 and 80 in my business. We work on basic elements of everyday life: posture, balance, coordination, stability, mobility, flexibility, endurance, and strength. We do it all. We take our time, we set up our movements, and we make sure that we understand why we're doing it and how it should feel. I'll take you through a typical class that should be done in probably 35 minutes or so. Now, our normal classes are anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour, but just for the sake of this video, I'm keeping it a little shorter so you can try this out. The first thing we're going to do is stand and work on some breathing and posture. So we center ourselves every day on the straps when we begin. This is a great tool to get everybody present and start to think about their body as this pillar of strength. So we'll stand facing our anchor with our straps at mid-length. Now, if you have a TRX at home, you can see I'm in my basement and I have it over a beam, or you can put it over a door. Our SMOLDER class is doing their workouts at home currently, and they're all over their houses wherever works. So the great thing about the straps is you can set them up anywhere that works for you. There's really no excuse to not do it. Face your anchor with your straps at mid-length, hands on the handles, arms out in front about belly button height. Feet are comfortable width apart, knees soft. So first we want to feel the connection with the floor. Wiggle your toes in your shoes, spread your toes apart, and then peel them down one by one so you feel them on the ground. Knees are soft, so we want to make sure we're not locking our joints to get stability, but rather using our muscles. Then we'll work on our alignment here. Once we feel that connection through the ground, let's build our alignment from the top down. So stack your ears over your shoulders, making sure you're not leaning forward. Shoulders over the hips, hips over the knees, and knees over the ankles. Lift your shoulders up by your ears, take an inhale, and now we want to find the space in our neck. Pull your shoulder blades down in your back as if you had pockets in the middle of your back. Lift your shoulders up by your ears, inhale. Pull your shoulder blades down in the pockets in the middle of the back on your exhale. Do this a few more times on your own. Inhale, shoulders go up. Exhale, shoulders go down. So we're finding space in our neck, and we're also working some scapular mobility, which we need for good shoulder health. We'll go two more here. Now, on your second one, as you pull your shoulder blades down, give yourself a little pressure into the straps, and you feel what that does to your body. Release the pressure and relax for a second. As you press into the straps, we get this great tool using the TRX called Reflexive core stability. So it's a bracing technique for your core. So you're stabilizing your spine. And just a little bit of pressure, you should feel your body light up in 360 degrees. So let's try that again. Inhale, lift the shoulders up by the ears. Pull the shoulder blades down in the middle of your back and exhale. Keep breathing. And now add a little tension into the straps with an open grip. When you close the grip, we tend to pull ourselves forward into poor posture, and we want to make sure that we're standing tall. So you should feel this underneath your armpits. You should feel this in your abs, in your core, in the front, side, and back. Now, can you tighten your glute muscles, which at TRX we call apples. So we want your glutes tight like apples, not mushy like applesauce. And now we have a pretty strong plank. Stand here and breathe. And let's feel that connection from your heels, through your little toes, through your big toes, so your whole foot in contact with the floor. And I want you to feel that connection move up the back of your body, through your legs, hips, up through the shoulders, and then feel the connection through the front of your body from the straps, up through the arms, down through the sides of your body, and then down the quads, and all the way down through the feet. And so I just really want you to feel the connection from the feet through to the straps. Take two more breaths here. and relax. Roll your shoulders. Now, that should not feel easy. The great thing about that is we're standing in what we call a plank. As you're rolling your shoulders, think about the fact that you can just stand and be very active and work your core. So we're working really good postural muscles. Reverse your shoulder roll. Now today I'm going to take you through something called a pyramid. So we just have 7 exercises. We'll go through exercises 1 through 7 and then come back down in reverse order. Okay? We'll finish our warm-up here. Take a wide stance. Feet are comfortable width apart, whatever feels good for you. Knees are soft. Stand nice and tall. Stack the ears over the hips. Take an inhale. Push your hips back like you're reaching towards a wall behind you. And we're getting some good hip mobility now. Lift the chest. Feel your heels on the ground, just like when we began today. Hinge your hips back. Push them back. Weight should be through your whole foot, particularly your heels. Lift the chest as you feel the heels on the ground. A few more of these, just at your own tempo. So you want to stay long from the top of the head to the tailbone. We're not reaching towards the anchor to initiate. We are reaching behind us with our tailbone. That is where our hands reach forward. Now remember that little bit of pressure we just talked about to give us that core stability. Give yourself a little bit of pressure and see how that feels different now. Keep the chest up. Bring your elbows to your side. So you should have your upper arms by your side. And we'll go into a side lunge, all to one side. Now we'll do this in our workout again, but I like to warm up with some similar exercises so we know the movement pattern. Hinge the hips back like we just worked on and bend the right knee. Right knee right over the ankle. Push through your heel to come up, all to the right side. Hips go back, we stay tall. Sit on the right heel and push off the right heel. Now, the nice thing about the straps is you can lean back, have a firm grip on the straps, and you can still get some good balance here and get some good range of motion with a little help from the straps, especially if your knees are kind of achy. So what we don't want to do is push the knee forward and lift the heel. We'll go 2 more on this side. As my hips hinge back, I lower down but stay tall through my spine. Now we'll go 6 again on the other side. I think we did about 6 there. Okay, now you can go whatever pace you want. If you want to go more, if you want to go less. We take our time in our warm-up. We work on good positioning. We work on good connection first and posture, and then we add some gentle movement. I think we have 1 more here. Okay, we'll stand facing away from the anchor and we'll get active in our plank again, but now we'll add some movement with the shoulders on what we call a TRX Roll Out. Hands are out in front. If you step away from the anchor, your working angle becomes easier, which means more of your body weight's loaded in your feet. If you step back, more of your body weight is loaded into the straps, so it's more for your core to have to stabilize and it's much more difficult. So you always decide that when you're doing your exercises. We also can stand with an offset stance, weight on the back foot. Be careful not to shift all to the front foot or it becomes much harder on a single leg versus a little easier in this position. So we'll start with an offset stance, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Weight is on the back foot. Straps are just over your shoulders. Align ears to ankle. Get nice and tall. Press firmly into the straps and squeeze your armpits like you have oranges underneath your armpits and you're trying to squeeze and make some orange juice. Sounds great. Now you're going to brace like you're going to take a little jab in your abs, so your abs are tight. Slowly raise your hands up just a few inches and you'll notice how it gets a little harder as you move, and then press hard into the handles to squeeze your armpits and abs and glutes to come back. So we want your whole body to be active. We'll go 5 more here. Roll out nice and slowly, press into the straps and come back. So you want to keep tension in the straps the whole time. Now we've done 3, we have 3 more. Let's take our feet to a wide stance. If this feels shaky, then you're going to want to step forward or go back to your offset stance. But this should feel a little harder because now we have a more challenging stance. So you have 2 more reps here. Slowly rolling out, finding length from head to heels, squeezing your armpits, abs and glutes to come back. Last rep right here. So we move with intention. What we don't want is to move quickly just to get reps. That's never our goal in this class. We want to understand that we are in control of our bodies in this unstable environment on the straps. Okay, take your straps back to mid-length. That's right in the middle. And we'll go into a TRX squat. Elbows down by the side again. Upper arm is by your side. You're about a forearm's length away from the straps. Feet about shoulder width or whatever's comfortable for you. Stand tall. We'll start with the same hip hinge that we just did with the knees soft, being careful not to lock the knees. And now we'll pull our hips down towards our heels, pushing through the heels to come up. Hips go back, pull your hips down towards your heels, push through the heels as we come up. Just like we did in our wide stance hip hinge at the beginning, I want you to feel your heels on the ground. Feeling your whole foot in connection with the ground gives us a nice, a bit of confidence, I think, in terms of staying connected in this challenging environment. We'll go 1 more rep here. So we like to feel in control, and we like to understand that this is stable in between our feet. This is not, okay? All right. We are going to go into some wall slides, so stand facing away from the anchor, and this is for some shoulder mobility. Now, our wall slides, we start in a goal post position with our arms. So I want my elbows in line with my armpits, open grip so I'm not grabbing and rounding, and my hands should be stacked just over my elbows. Push the hands up overhead and pull. And we always like to say that we don't need to ask for help putting anything in the overhead bin of an airplane ever again, because we know we have the mobility and the strength to get ourselves, to get our things up there. So easy breathing here. And the same way we began today, by lifting the shoulders up by the ears and pulling the shoulder blades down, like you had pockets in the middle of your back. Now I want you to think of the same thing, pushing up and pulling those shoulder blades down. So as you move, again, you're getting some scapular movement, some shoulder mobility, which is all good for shoulder health. We'll go just 1 more here. All right, we have 2 things left in our warm-up. Number 1 is a shoulder sweep for some thoracic mobility. So I want you to stand with your hands behind you slightly like you were in a letter A, a capital letter A. Thumbs are pointed out. Feet are about hip width apart. Now, feel the feet on the floor. We're going to create some tension between our feet to help stabilize our hips, pelvis, and low back. So I want you to pretend like you have newspaper in between your feet and you're trying to tear the newspaper apart. You should feel that zip all the way up through your hips. Tighten your abs a little bit, brace for that little jab, and then squeeze those apples like we mentioned in the beginning. Now, nice and easy with the shoulder and upper part of your spine. Take your left shoulder across, follow your hand with your head, and look behind you like you're looking in the back seat of a car. Take a breath, take the left arm back, and now we'll take the right arm across. Now, notice as my right shoulder goes across, I'm not turning my right hip. So I want to pull my right hip back towards the anchor because I'm just trying to mobilize the upper part of my spine, my shoulders, and of course my neck. What I don't want to do is move my hips or low back. So I want those to stay nice and stable or immobile because I'm bracing those. We'll go 1 more each direction. All right, last thing that we do in our warm-up is a little bit of traction on the spine, and we have a low back stretch. So stand facing your anchor with your hands just below shoulder height. Take an inhale, lean slightly away from the anchor, keep holding those straps firmly. Take another big inhale, push your hips away from the anchor. Now this is also a hip hinge, so it's another version of a hip hinge. But now we're letting gravity pull us and find some length in between our vertebrae. Breathe here for just a few breaths. And this is challenging on the grip, so we get a lot of grip strength in the class as well. Lift the chest, lift the hips, come all the way back up to a standing position. Now we're going to start our workout. We're just going to go a few reps of each exercise just to get a feel for what this class would be. Now we tend to move a little bit more fluidly in our warm-up, but this is a very similar warm-up to what we typically do in our classes. We'll start out with a forearms plank. Now, this is a really challenging exercise. Most of the people in the class have been doing this class with me for about a year and a half. We didn't do this progression of a regular plank for probably 12 months, but I want you to see what we have 80-year-old athletes doing. So we'll lengthen our straps all the way, stand facing away from the anchor. We'll put our forearms in the foot cradles. This is a ton of shoulder strength and core stability and core strength. And this is a very big progression of any sort of plank for anybody I work with. So we're pushing into the foot cradles, and I want you to stand like you're on train tracks. What I don't want you to do is wing your elbows out to the side. Okay, making fists, thumbs point towards you. Now, if you remember in the beginning, I said if you step back, it becomes much harder because you load into the straps. If you step forward, it becomes easier. So what we're going to do is create a lot of tension, just standing mostly upright right now, leaning slightly into the straps. So push the straps away from you. Elbows should be squeezing into the center, and this should already be difficult. Take a couple breaths here. Now, keep tension in the straps, tighten your abs, squeeze those apples, take a tiny step back with both feet, and you feel how it gets much, much harder. Now, you can stay wherever you need to stay for this exercise. We're going to add what's called a shoulder saw. It is very, very small movement just to work some shoulder strength and some stability here. Now, I don't need to be at a steep angle to make this hard. This should already be hard. We've been here about 30 seconds. So slowly push the hands up towards the ceiling, just an inch or two, and then squeeze the oranges underneath your armpits hard to come back. The strap should hover right over your shoulders. Slowly punch your hands up towards the ceiling, or push or punch. Slowly squeeze the armpits to come back. We're gonna go 6 reps. So we have 4 more reps, and this is pretty difficult on my shoulders and body right now. So I'm imagining for anybody else doing this, it is. 3 more reps. Punch up, squeeze everything to come down. Keep pressure in the straps. Squeeze the elbows in, punch up, squeeze those elbows down by your side without letting the straps touch you. And I think we have 1 more rep. Punch up, and then squeeze and come back. Step forward out of that. That should be a lot on the shoulders and neck. Roll out your shoulders and neck. Take your straps to mid-length. And now we're going to change positions and challenge our hip stability and some resisted rotation. So we'll stand sideways to the anchor with your right shoulder, right hip lined up. Stack your foot cradles one on top of the other. We have something called a rotational ward. Your hands go together on the insides of the foot cradles, and I love this. This is a kind of a standing version of a side plank. So you line up your sternum on the anchor, tension on the straps, and then you step out so you are centered, your hands on your sternum. Feet about hip width, maybe a little narrower. Tear the newspaper apart between your feet. Rip the straps off the anchor. Tighten your apples, tighten your abs like you're bracing for a punch. Push the straps out in front of you and try and rip the straps off the anchor without turning your hips. Pull the straps back in because you're squeezing your shoulder blades down in the pockets and together. Push the straps away. Pull the shoulder blades down and pinch them together. So we're trying to push and then pull from our back. The hands do not need to touch your sternum. We have 3 more reps. So keep tearing the newspaper apart between your feet, and it feels a lot different right now, doesn't it? You have 2 more. Chin off the chest. Now we're going to hold this last one right here. Check your posture. Are your ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles aligned, or did you find yourself leaning forward? We tend to do that, so relax, shake it out. When we do the other side, as you push your hands away, I want you to make sure you're not letting your shoulders and chin follow you. Switch sides, line up your left shoulder, left hip on the anchor, Feet are hip width. Stand tall. Line up your sternum on the anchor and your hands on your sternum. Lots of tension in the straps. Tear the newspaper apart between your feet. Tighten those apples and brace for a punch in your abs, okay? Push your hands away. Tension on the straps like you're trying to rip the straps off the anchor. Pull your shoulder blades down and together to come back in. 5 more reps. Lots of tension on the straps. Sometimes we play the rip the straps off the anchor Olympics. And so if you rip your strap off the bar, you win the gold medal in the Olympics. This should actually be a sport. I think we have 2 more reps. Pressing away, so this should not feel easy. This should be very challenging. Press the straps away, pull them back in. Okay, shake out your shoulders, roll out your shoulders a little bit. We have a TRX squat row. Stand facing the anchor. Now we're doing a squat and a pull, okay? Wrists towards the outside of the rib cage, and we're gonna make chicken wings here. So instead of elbows straight down or elbows straight out, part way. Lean slightly back so you can feel the weight in the straps versus all the weight in your feet. Okay, I wanna get really nice and tall from my ears to my ankles. Push yourself away from the anchor, drop your hips down. Pull yourself back as you feel your heels on the way up. So lots of cues that we've already used, we use in our exercises. Push yourself away slowly with control. Pull your hips down towards your heels. Feel the heels, you're working your hips and glutes here, and then pull yourself back as you stand up. Push yourself away. Pull your hips down towards your heels. Push yourself off the ground and pull yourself back to the straps. So we have a push with the upper body, a pull with the lower body as you pull down. Very controlled on the way down, not letting gravity. Then we have a push with the lower body and a pull with the upper body. So we talk about all of these things in our classes. 2 more reps. Push yourself down with your upper body, pull yourself back up. Now think of pulling yourself down with your lower body as you decelerate down, resisting gravity, like you're trying to control yourself sitting down in a chair. And then we push ourselves back up. Okay, exercise number 4 is a mobility exercise and some leg strength again. A wide stance hip hinge with a lateral lunge. We did both of these in our warm-up. So stand with your feet nice and wide, whatever is comfortable for you. Usually I say about 2 times your squat width, okay, or a wingspan width apart. Arms are out in front, maybe belly button height. If your hamstrings and hips are tight, step back away from the anchor so they're closer to sternum height. Open the grip, give yourself a little pressure into the straps for that reflexive stability. Push your hips back, feel the weight in your heels, knees are soft. Feel the floor underneath your feet and you have strong legs to lift your chest back up. Elbows by the side, side lunge right. Push from your heel to come back up. Arms go back out and we'll go back into a hip hinge. Chest comes up, side lunge left. Hips go back. So we work different movement patterns as well. So I like to combine exercises. You have a hinge and then a side lunge right. So working different movement patterns is great for your body, great for your coordination, and great for your brain. Now we go side lunge left. 2 more. Hinge the hips, feel the floor, side lunge right, stay tall, making sure that you're not leaning forward towards the straps. Push the hips back, flat back up, get all the way up before you do the side lunge. And then back up. Okay, exercise 5. We have some pushing now, facing away from the anchor. Lengthen your straps all the way, stand facing away from the anchor with your hands on the handles, arms are out in front. Straps should be just hovering over the shoulders. Now, this is 2 very challenging exercises, and we usually take a long time to learn these. We have a TRX chest fly and chest press. We'll alternate reps, and we have 6 reps total. Thumbs are up on the chest fly, and you'll open your arms like you're opening a book very slowly, and I want you to stop as if you could hang out and read a couple pages in that book for a while. Then you know you've not gone too far. What we don't want is to open very quickly, oops, and face plant. Nobody wants that, okay? So you can either go with the offset stance, weight on the back foot like we did in warm up, or you can take your feet in a symmetrical stance. Elbows are soft but stationary. Thumbs are turned up towards the ceiling. Brace like you're bracing that core as we pressed hard into the straps. I want that same feel. Take those hands apart like you're slowly opening a giant book. Stop where you feel like you could stay, hang out, and read a couple pages. Then you know you are in control. Squeeze your arms back together. Now we'll do a chest press. Bending the elbows, pulling your body slowly like you're pulling it down towards the ground. Slowly moving forward. You stop where you could hang out and read your book again. Press your hands away from your body. That's a very challenging exercise. Okay, we'll have 2 more of each. So back to your chest fly. Open the book slowly. Stop where you feel strong and stable. Make sure your whole body is really active. Squeeze to come back like you're clapping for yourself, which you should. Pull yourself forward. Elbows slide back. Body moves in one long line. Stop. Could you read a page? Yes. Good. Then you went to the right place. Push yourself away. 1 more of each. Open the book slowly. Close the book slowly. The slower you go, the harder it is because it's more time under tension. Okay, so we want to move with control and with purpose. Then we have 1 chest press to finish. Push yourselves away. Now we're going to open the chest, work a little coordination and a little balance here. So straps at mid-length, and we have a TRX forward step with an overhead reach and a side bend. That's a lot, that's a mouthful. Now, instead of teaching a single handle, in case you don't know that, we'll just stack our foot cradles again, these loops, and we'll take your left hand in both foot cradles. Line up your left side on the anchor, and we'll step into this half goalpost position with your arm. So my hands should be straight out from my armpit, okay? I'm going to step forward with my right foot to the ball of my left foot and reach up and across, and then pull back into my wall slide position as I step back. So it's not a big movement. It's a small step forward for a weight shift and a little balance challenge. Back heel comes up. Now I'm getting a nice stretch through that left hip, reaching up and over. I'm working some balance. And then as I step back, my elbow comes back down. So it's a lot going on at once. We've got a step, we've got a reach, and then we add a side bend for some balance, but also getting some good flexibility and mobility here in the hip. Step forward again with the right foot, left arm goes up, reach up and over, come back to neutral, and then step back, pull the shoulder blade down. We'll go 3 more. Step forward, release the back heel, so your weight's still on both feet. Reach up and over, keep tension in the strap, back to neutral, and then stepping back. So we're working shoulder health as well. Step forward with the right foot, reach up and over, back to neutral, pull the left shoulder blade down. I think we have 1 more. I'm not great at counting, but who doesn't need 1 extra rep? Back to center and then back down. Okay, other side. Line up your right shoulder on the anchor, so the strap should be behind you on the right side. And now we'll step with the left foot. So make this half goal post arm with the right hand, making sure you're not pushing your shoulder forward, but pulling the elbow forward, okay? Tension in the strap. Feet are about hip width. Step forward with the left foot, release the right heel, reach up, over into the side bend. Now, if it's too much balance, don't reach over in the side bend. Just reach up and then step back. Okay, so when we began this exercise in this group, we started with just a forward step and we didn't do the side bend. We've progressed to the side bend. So I'm showing you some of our tricks. Step forward with the left, reach up and over, back to the center, and then back to neutral. I think we'll go 2 more here. Okay, and then the quicker you step, the harder it is to balance, right? So it doesn't have to be fast, but it does work a little coordination and balance. All right, the last exercise in our pyramid before we come back down is a TRX T-fly. So we'll do the same open and close the book, but instead of facing away from the anchor as we open the book, we face the anchor as we open the book. Very challenging, but now we're working our back side. So grab your handles firmly, thumbs are up. Step and pull your arms apart like you're in a big letter T, okay? If your hands are in line with your side, it's much, much harder. So we start with our hands slightly in front of our armpits. Create as much tension on the straps as possible because it's the rip the straps off the Anchor Olympics. Take one foot back behind you. Slowly, in a straight body, stiff as a board, slowly clap for yourself. Who doesn't want to do that, right? So you're rocking back really slowly, resisting gravity. Stay right here. Tighten your apples. Brace for that punch. Lift your shoulders up by your ears. We do not want to be there. Pull your shoulder blades down in the middle of your back. Now pinch your shoulder blades together as you rip the straps off the anchor. Lots going on there, but you should feel that in your back side. Slowly clap for yourself. Now win the gold medal. Rip the straps off the anchor. Keep tension the whole time. Don't lean forward, stay back. You've got 4 more reps. Slowly rocking back. This is a really tough strength exercise for your whole body, particularly your shoulders and back. We have 2 more reps. Making sure that you're not dropping the hips, but keeping that line from ears to ankles like we began today. 1 more rep. Clap for yourself slowly, and then win that gold medal. All right, we are coming back down our pyramid, and this should feel really good this time. Now, we're gonna do a little different variation of our forward lunge with reach. Now we're gonna start, we're going back in reverse order, but instead of going a single handle, we're gonna start with 2 hands. So, your hands are out in front of your shoulders now. Step forward with the left foot. We'll start on the left side this time. Step forward with the left foot. As you step forward, the arms go up. So the hands should be about shoulder height, no lower. Left foot steps forward, arms go up. Maybe you want to take this into a lunge. So we'll go 6 reps each side, and our forward step precipitates us lunging. Now, it might not feel great for your knees, so you don't have to lunge, but if this is a progression you want to take, here's what it looks like. Left foot goes forward, you pull the right knee down towards the ground, and then you press into the straps and come back up. Left foot goes forward, pull the right knee down, press into the straps and come up. In our Smolder class, we have people taking both options, the forward step with the reach, and I'm getting a nice, some length in the front of my body. And then we also are working some leg strength, some leg stability, hip stability. And then if you want a little bit more strength, you add the lunge. We'll just go 1 more rep on the left, and then we'll go right into the right side. So right foot steps forward. If you want to lunge, it's a big step. Pull the left knee down, press into the straps and the heel to come up. 5 more reps. Forward. Stay tall all the way. So the tendency is to look down at the feet versus look ahead. So it could be a weight shift, or it could be a full lunge. We have 2 more reps. All right, now our chest should feel nice and open. Lengthen your straps all the way. We have our chest press, chest fly combination again. So we'll start with the chest fly, thumbs up, shoulders down. Straps are just hovering over the shoulders, they don't touch you. Okay, and then you decide your working angle. So if it's shallow, mostly in your feet, that's a lot easier. If you're leaning into the straps and you step back, it's a lot harder, okay? Just be prepared for whatever option you need. Remember, the other option is to offset your stance and keep the weight on the back foot. The front foot is your safety catch, all right? So, thumbs up, elbows soft. Get really active here, like you feel some tension throughout your whole body. Open the book slowly. Thumbs up, arms go out. Stop where you know you could read a page for a while. And then squeeze back together. Now we do our chest press. And it's like you're slowly pulling yourself down towards the ground in this controlled crash. Elbows go back, shoulders stay down away from the ears. Stop where you could read a page. Push yourself away. Okay? Back to the chest fly. Open the book slowly. Close the book. Chest press. Pull yourself down in this controlled crash. Push yourself away. I use these cues in all my classes. I'm not super technical, but I like to give good visuals. Open the book slowly. Close the book. Last one, pull yourself down, stiff as a board. Press yourself back up with some determination. Good, that's a tough exercise. Wide stance, hip hinge, lateral lunge. So take your straps to mid-length, stand facing the anchor. Feet should be about a wingspan width apart or 2.5 times your squat, whatever it is that's comfortable and stable for you. You should be able to stand here and feel very tall but supported. Arms out in front, maybe about belly button height. If your hips and hamstrings are tight, step back a little bit. Open your grip so we're not grabbing and rounding. Think good posture. Push your hips back, feel your whole foot on the floor. Create tension in your legs and really ground, lift the chest. So I like to talk through a lot of each rep so we know what we should be feeling. We want to come up from our legs, you lift the chest, but it doesn't initiate from the upper body doing the work. The upper body does the work, or the lower body does the work and the upper body kind of comes with it, okay? Elbows down by the side, hinge the hips, side lunge right. A lot of people give the cue on a hinge to lead with the chest on the way up. That's fine as long as you understand that your posterior chain is what's doing the work. Arms out, hip hinge again. Hips go back, lift the chest, making sure that you're feeling that in your apples and your hamstrings. Side lunge left. So it is important to know where you should feel things versus just moving. Hinge the hips again, flat back up, elbows by the side, side lunge right. Now maybe you want to get a little lower with a little bit more confidence now because you understand what the movement is. Hinge the hips, side lunge left. One more each side. Stay tall as you lunge, trying not to lean forward, but sitting back on the heel. Last one of each. Can you grow a little taller from head to tailbone as you lunge? And we are going right into a squat in a row now, so 2 lower body exercises in a row. All right, so wrist to the rib cage, and here's where we have our chicken wings. Lean back so you feel tension in the straps, and you should feel it in your whole body. So you're not standing on with the weight all in your feet, okay? The weight is in the straps. Feet should be about shoulder width apart, wherever it feels comfortable for you. This is where you straighten the arms and push yourself down towards the ground with control. So straighten the arms, drop the hips, stay really tall, and then pull yourself back up to a standing position. This is a big strength move. Push yourself away from the anchor, pull your hips down, and then pull yourself back up, nice strong back. Okay, again, you can kind of think controlled crash. So I don't want gravity to do the work. I don't want gravity to win. I want to make sure I'm in control. Push yourself away, pull yourself back up. 2 more reps. Shoulders down away from your ears right here. Check your shoulders. Well, I want to see your whole neck space and then come back up. Last one, lots on the grip here. Push yourself down, pull yourself back up. All right, we are back to our rotational board. So now we're doing a press. And this is where we're sideways to our anchor. Line up your left shoulder, left hip on the anchor. Now I'm gonna face right shoulder, right hip in the camera so you can see me. But we'll switch sides here. Start with your left shoulder, left hip lined up on the anchor. Center your sternum on your hands. Tension on the straps. Now we'll take a little narrower stance this time because we'll add a progression option. Lots of tension between the feet. Lots of tension on the straps. Push the straps away, hold them there. Option to lift the outside heel, whichever that one is for you. It should be your right heel, and then put it back down, pull the straps back in. Push the straps away, option to lift the heel and back down. Now what we're doing is we're working some hip stability. So as you lift the heel, what wants to happen is the hip wants to give in on the right side, and then you should feel that you would feel that in the knee. And what we don't want to do is let that hip tilt or rotate as you shift the weight to one leg. So as you push your hands away, lift up from the inside hip and try and create a lot of length there on the inside hip. Like you're pulling the hip towards the midline. Pull back. We'll go 2 more reps. A bigger progression would be to keep the inside knee soft and then lifting the outside knee. Now that's a huge progression, but I have to say our Smolder class, a lot of them take that progression. It doesn't mean it's better. It just means that some of them need that extra little challenge. Okay, pull your hands back in. We have the other side, which should be your right side, and I'll face the camera again. So I'll stand the same side. Line up your right shoulder, right hip on the anchor. Tension on the straps with your hands centered on your sternum. We do this exercise at least once a week. Tear the floor apart between your feet or tear the newspaper apart. Tension on the straps. Now, win that gold medal, rip the straps off the anchor. Lift the heel as an option. Lower the heel, pull the hands back in. Making sure not to straighten the inside knee for stability. So we talked about that in the very beginning. Keeping the joints soft, not stabilizing the joints, but stabilizing in our muscles. And I think we have 4 more reps. 3 more reps. Check your posture, ears over the ankles. 2 more. Lots of tension. Last rep, maybe you want to try and pull that hip in. Maybe you want to try and lift the knee this time. And then tap it back down. Last exercise right here. And we have a forearms saw or our forearms plank. So you put your, actually I think we lengthened our straps. We'll lengthen our straps on this, which is a lot harder. I'm being a little mean, but you're up for a challenge or you wouldn't be still doing this with me. So 2/3 of the way up the straps on your forearms. So you're not all the way up here, not down there. Making fists and you're on train tracks, not winging out to the side. Squeeze your elbows in, push into the straps, standing pretty vertical. Okay, now you're gonna slowly push those hands up towards the ceiling about 1 inch and then squeeze your armpits to come back down. Okay, so you're working your lats here, so it's big muscles on your back, which are huge muscles in your core. Okay, push your hands up, squeeze your armpits, tighten your abs, tighten your booty. Okay, take a little step back. Now what we don't want is booty mountain. That's what I call booty mountain. Squeeze it, pull it forward. Lower the shoulders, punch the hands up, pull them back down. 3 more and then we're done. Push up slowly, just 1 inch or 2. It doesn't need to be big to be effective. And then back down. 2 more. Push up, pull back down. Last one, push up, pull back down. Step away, shake it out. We're gonna go right into a chest stretch here. Thumbs are up, shoulders are down, relax. Walk into a letter T, so walk forward, open the arms in a letter T. Relax the shoulders. You should feel this across the chest, and you should feel this in the biceps. Now's your time to just stand and breathe, keeping the knees soft. We did a lot of good work in this workout. Hopefully you feel appropriately challenged. We have good options. We learn a squat, we learn a row before we put them together. But this is a sample class of my Smolder group. And you can check out my website if you want at kariwoodall.com. And I do offer Zooms and online training options, and I'd love to have you join me. We are going to step back. Hands come down slightly behind us. Take the right foot forward, hamstring stretch. So your feet are on train tracks, big inhale. Push the hips back towards the anchor, exhale. So we'll just go through a couple stretches here. We usually do a good 10 minutes of stretching. I'm not going to do that much, but you can at least see some of the stretches we do. Breathing into your back. Keeping that back nice and long. Let's take 1 more breath. Lift the chest. Step back with the right foot, so it's a lot of balance. Take the arms up. They should be slightly in front of you. Step forward with the right foot again. Right knee is soft. Keep the left heel down to stretch out your calf. Inhale. Right arm goes down, exhale. If you want to follow your hand with your head, that's a bigger balance challenge, or you could look straight ahead. Pushing the hands apart, trying to create some length in the front of your body, particularly through the left hip. Take the right arm back up, step the right foot back to meet the left, take the arms back down, step forward with the left foot, hamstring stretch, big inhale, push your hips back towards the anchor, exhale. So you should feel this in the left, at the back of the left leg. Your knees can be as soft as you need them to be here, okay? If your hamstrings are tight, make sure that you're not locking out your knee to try and get a bigger stretch. Reach from the tailbone to the top of the head. Take one more breath. Lift the chest. Slowly step back. Take the arms back up. And we'll take the same foot forward. Left foot forward just a little bit. Pulling the right heel down. Take an inhale. Left arm goes down, exhale. Option to look forward or follow the hand with the head. So all of these steps, even in our stretching, require a lot of body awareness, or what we call proprioceptive awareness, okay? And it requires a lot of balance and stability and coordination. And we have definitely made huge improvements in the 1.5 years we've been working. Bring the left arm back up, step back with the left foot. We'll finish with one last stretch, and that's our low back stretch. You can take your straps back to mid-length, or you can just leave them. I'm going to, just in case I go off camera here. And our low back stretch gives us some traction. We have a lot of different options, a lot of different things we do here, but for the sake of time, we'll stand facing the anchor with your hands slightly below your shoulder height. Take an inhale. Grip those straps, lean away. Exhale, just slightly leaning back. Inhale. Push the hips back away from the anchor. Exhale. Try and get as long as you can from head to hips. Now, you might feel like you have a little bit of a bigger hip hinge here, or easier hip hinge here than when we did in the beginning. Hopefully your back has loosened up a little bit, your hips have loosened up a little bit, and now you should feel the stretch even through the chest if your chest is tight, and through your shoulders and your lats. We'll take 2 more breaths, breathing across your back. All right, lift the chest, bring the hips back underneath the shoulders, weight is in the feet. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you found this workout challenging but doable. It should give you confidence to be able to do anything that you want. We want to make sure that we are living our days with full independence, and this is the tool to do it. Thanks for joining me. Go chase the burn.